Welcome, Battlers! Season 2 of the Silph Arena has arrived. We're starting off the month of October with the Sinister Cup. In the Sinister Cup, Ghost, Psychic, Steel, and Fighting types are allowed. The list of banned types include Dark, Mythical, as well as the individual Pokemon Skarmory and Hypno. I am so excited to get into Season 2 content. The Sinister Cup is shaping up to be a ton of fun. We are going to get into these battles here with some appropriately creepy music. Here we go. It's October. It's time to get spooky. In these battles, we're going up against my friend SixSevenKevin. I added SixSevenKevin on Discord, who was looking for sparring partners, and he did not disappoint. This guy is a fierce competitor. I open with Steelix. He opens with Poliwrath. His Poliwrath is going to use the power-up punch here on Steelix. I'm going to bail out into my Alolan Marowak. However, this is not super favorable for me because, as you know, Poliwrath is a water-type Pokemon. In comes Gardevoir. I'm going to go straight for the Shadow Ball. Alolan Marowak appears to be the king of the Sinister Cup so far. He's ranked number 1 on the PvP rankings, and you're about to see why. 2 Shadow Balls, we take down that Gardevoir. In comes Haunter. Haunter is a classic Ghost-type Pokemon. A lot of them carry Shadow Ball. You can expect that legacy move when you face off against Haunter. I'm going to go in here with Steelix and use these Crunches. Crunch is a Dark-type attack, so Dark Pokemon were banned, but Dark-type attacks are super effective against both the Ghost and the Psychics. He's going to use a Shadow Punch here. I do decide to shield. Back in comes Poliwrath, and I go in with Empoleon. Empoleon is a lot of fun. It does no Waterfall. It is a dual-type Water and Steel. However, this Poliwrath has so much energy built up, it's going to use these power-up punches and take down my Empoleon. I bring in Steelix here and go for the Earthquake. We're able to take down that Poliwrath, but his Haunter gets to a charge move first, and it brings down our Steelix with a Shadow Punch. Jumping right into round 2, I open with Bronzong. My opponent opens with Bastiodon. Little glitch there, but that's okay. I switch here to Lucario, and if you're getting Kingdom Cup flashbacks, you're not the only one. Lucario is a lot of fun in the Sinister Cup. I plan on doing a feature video on it soon. Oh my goodness, as you can tell there, we nuked that Medicham with Shadow Ball. In comes Drifblim. I do think he lags a little bit, but we're just practicing. I'm going to fire off the power-up punch here. He does decide to shield, knowing that it could potentially be Shadow Ball. I'm going to go for another power-up punch here and ramp up this Lucario even further. I'm waiting on that switch clock. Let's see if we get there. I go for one more power-up punch. I'm trying to draw the shield bait, hoping he thinks it's a Shadow Ball, and he does. We take that second shield away from the Drifblim, and I have Bronzong and Xatu in the back. I come in here with Xatu, and he's got a charge move ready. It is Shadow Ball, and that would have one-hit KO'd me if I would not have blocked. I do decide to shield the second attack too. He has so much energy from fighting my Lucario. In comes Bastiodon, but he is switch locked. I try to bail out, but I'm too slow. That Bastiodon gets to the Stone Edge, brings down the Xatu, and in comes Bronzong. Bronzong does no Bulldoze. I'm hoping that's enough to take down this Bastiodon. Let's see. It is. In comes the Drifblim. My confusions are going to do some work. I can't afford to get hit by the Shadow Ball, and that's exactly what happens here. Drifblim brings down our Bronzong, and SixSevenKevin wins the match. Jumping into round 3, we switch opponents to Church. You've seen Church a lot on the channel, and I cannot wait to see what he does in the Sinister Cup. As you can see, he's already using these off-meta picks like Execute. Execute is a Grass and Psychic type. It does no confusion, and I don't have a solid answer for it here, especially not carrying a Fire type. He does switch here into Mawile. Mawile is a very interesting Sinister Cup pick because the Bite is a Dark-type attack that does very well against both the Psychics and the Ghosts. However, Alolan Marowak has that Bone Club spam, and we're able to get off 2, and then we get a third Bone Club, and the shield pressure is just immense on this Mawile. He does decide to burn the second shield, preserving his Mawile, but we are up 1 shield. I decide to come in here with the Poliwrath. Poliwrath is going to be a staple of this cup, I can already tell you as much. This Mawile is going to fire off a charge attack. Whatever it was, I was expecting it to do a lot of damage. It was Iron Head, so I probably could have gone without the shield there. In comes Execute again, and I switch into Steelix, but he has a good answer in Marowak. The shields are down though, and in the end game, Steelix is deadly. I use that Earthquake to take down the Marowak. Out comes the Execute once again, and I think I'm in a favorable position here. The Seed Bombs are not going to do much damage, and I get to the Crunch. We're going to crunch those eggs for breakfast and take round 1 against Church. Going into this round, I open with Alolan Raichu. He opens with a shiny Steelix. Alolan Raichu is an interesting pick as well. I will talk about that one later. I switch here into Empoleon against Lugia. As you can tell, those waterfalls are doing so much neutral damage to Lugia, and the Sky Attack does not hurt Empoleon that badly at all. Empoleon is a steel and water type, so it is susceptible to fighting. However, it does do very well against the walls like Bastiodon, Probopass, and the like. I'm going to use a few more waterfalls here, and we almost bring down that Lugia, but it has a little bit of health. I decide to bring in my Alolan Raichu, and I attempt to farm up the Lugia, but he does get the charge move off. I am going to shield this Sky Attack and get one Spark here to bring down the Lugia. He's going to think it over and then come in with Steelix. A lot of trainers don't know this, but Steel does not resist Electric. It is neutral damage. I'm going to overfarm here, attempting to bank more energy, and I get too greedy. He's going to use the Crunch, and that Alolan Raichu falls. I bring in Poliwrath here. This is a Mudshot Poliwrath with Power Up Punch and Hydro Pump. I think that's the appropriate moveset for the Mudshot variant. With the Bubble variant, I'm experimenting with a few moves right now. We'll see where that goes. I do decide to fire off the second Power Up Punch, and he is going to shield it. In comes the Earthquake, and it brings our Poliwrath extremely low. He brings in Alolan Marowak, and I'm unable to get to the Hydro Pump. Going into this round, I open with Girafarig. He opens with Poliwrath. Girafarig is another Pokemon that I'm going to do a deep dive on, if you will, like Atticus. Not quite like Atticus Nair, but I'll do my best. In comes my Poliwrath against his Mawile, and Mawile is a part Steel type. It is Steel and Fairy, so it does take neutral damage from the fighting type attacks, but it does just enough. I'm going to fire off a few more Mudshots here. It does get to the charge move, expecting a Fairy type attack. I do shield, and it is play rough. A few more Mudshots here, and I say, why not go for the Power Up Punch? It just means we're going to be stronger for the next opponent that comes in. That next opponent is a Poliwrath as well. We're going to fire off the Power Up Punch here, do a ton of damage, and then I come in with Girafarig. I attempt to catch him, but I'm one move short. He does use the Power Up Punch, but I use a Confusion. In comes Haunter, and we erase that Haunter with the Girafarig Confusion, and we've got a Thunderbolt for this Poliwrath. He does decide to shield. I fire off one more Confusion, but this is looking very favorable for me. I bring in my last Pokemon, Xatu, and we Air Slash down the Poliwrath. Going into our final round of the video, I open with Empoleon. He opens with Alolan Marowak. If you check the simulations on PvPoke, Empoleon is an excellent counter to Alolan Marowak. We chip that Mawile down super low. I try to bring in the Blaziken to finish it off, but he's able to get to a charge move first. I do have to shield that, but I've got a ton of energy banks, and I'm ready to unleash the flames on whatever comes in next. In comes Alolan Marowak. This is not a super favorable outcome for me because Alolan Marowak is part fire, so he does resist my attacks. I'm going to let Blaziken fall here. Almost gets another Blaze Kick. That's okay. I'm going to go in with Empoleon once again. He does bail out, and I have another solid answer in Alolan Raichu. Alolan Raichu is an electric and psychic type. I'm hoping to get off these Thunder Punches before this Poliwrath can overcome me with energy. I've got to burn 2 shields, though, before I can make that kind of progress, so things are going to get pretty tight. I do decide to shield the second Power Up Punch, banking on the idea that I can get to a second Thunder Punch and hopefully a third. He burns his last shield. I'm trying to get to that move, but he's just too strong with the bubbles. He's going to use a Power Up Punch here against my Empoleon, and he's going to take me down for the win. Guys, Sinister Cup is already shaping up to be a ton of fun. I can't wait to put out more Sinister Cup content, so stay tuned and don't miss it.